The Statue of Liberty, an icon of hope, freedom, and fulfilled dreams. But behind its imposing copper figure lie secrets that few know. Get ready for a journey through the hidden mysteries of this monument that fascinates millions of people around the world. Imagine sailing through the waters of New York Harbor. As your boat approaches Liberty Island, you see the majestic silhouette of the statue on the horizon. Your eyes fix on the raised torch, a beacon of freedom that has shone for more than a century. But what do we really know about this Lady of Copper? Let's start with some surprising numbers. Did you know that the Statue of Liberty weighs an incredible 450,000 pounds to 100 tons? That's equivalent to the weight of 33 adult African elephants. And its height, from the ground to the tip of the torch, it rises to an impressive 305 feet, 93 meters. To put that into perspective, it's like stacking 22 SUVs on top of each other. But the numbers are just the beginning. The true magic lies in the details and stories that few people know. Let's travel back in time to the late 19th century. America was recovering from a devastating civil war, and millions of immigrants were arriving on its shores in search of a new life. It was in this context that the idea of the Statue of Liberty was born, not in the United States, but across the Atlantic, in France. Sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi dreamed of a colossal monument that would symbolize freedom. Inspired by the ancient Colossus of Rhodes, he initially planned to build a giant statue for the Suez Canal in Egypt. When that project didn't materialize, Bartholdi turned his eyes to America, a nation that was becoming a symbol of freedom and opportunity. Here's a secret that few know. The face of the Statue of Liberty may have been modeled after Bartholdi's mother, Charlotte. Imagine the love and dedication it took to immortalize his own mother's face in a monument that would be seen by millions of people. Every time we look at the serene face of Liberty, we might be seeing the reflection of a son's love for his mother. But the story gets even more intriguing. Have you ever wondered why the Statue of Liberty is green? Originally, it had the color of bright copper. Only over time did oxidation turn its surface into the iconic green-blue hue we know today. This layer, known as patina, actually protects the underlying copper from corrosion. It's as if nature itself decided to preserve this symbol of freedom. Now, let's talk about a mystery surrounding the statue. Have you heard about the broken chains at Liberty's feet? They are almost invisible to visitors on the ground, but represent the breaking of oppression and slavery. This subtle yet powerful detail is rarely mentioned in tourist guides. It's a silent reminder of the struggles for freedom that shaped the American nation. Speaking of hidden details, did you know there is a miniature replica of the Declaration of Independence engraved on the tablet that the statue holds in her left arm? It's true. The date of the Declaration of Independence, July 4, 1776, is inscribed in Roman numerals, a historical treasure hidden in plain sight. But the secrets of the Statue of Liberty don't stop there. Let's talk about the statue's interior, a place that few have the privilege to visit. Inside the copper structure, an intricate network of steel beams designed by the famous engineer Gustave Eiffel, yes, the same one behind the Eiffel Tower, supports the entire monument. It's as if the statue has a steel skeleton, invisible to the eyes but vital to its existence. Now, imagine climbing the 354 steps to the statue's crown. With each step, you are literally walking through history. The crown's windows, 7 in total, represent the 7 seas and the 7 continents. It's as if Liberty is gazing out at the entire world, offering hope to every corner of the globe. But there's one aspect of the statue that many don't know: its function as a lighthouse. For decades, Liberty's torch served as an actual beacon for ships entering New York Harbor. Imagine exhausted sailors spotting the glow of that torch for the first time after weeks at sea. For many, it was their first glimpse of a new life in America. Speaking of the torch, did you know that the original torch is not the one we see today? The current torch, installed in 1986, is made of copper covered with 24-karat gold leaf. At night, it shines with an intensity that can be seen for miles, thanks to a sophisticated lighting system. The original torch, damaged by years of exposure to the elements, now rests in the Liberty Island Museum, a silent witness to the passage of time. Let's now dive into some fascinating statistics. That's more than the population of many countries. Imagine, each year, a crowd equivalent to the population of Ireland or New Zealand passing through the gates of Liberty Island. But who are these people? They come from all corners of the world, representing an incredible diversity of cultures, languages, and stories. Young students on school trips, families on vacation, honeymoon couples, immigrants visiting the symbol of their new homeland, each bringing with them their own hopes and dreams. And speaking of dreams, did you know that the Statue of Liberty was largely funded by donations from ordinary citizens? Both in France and the United States, fundraising campaigns mobilized people from all social classes. Children donated their savings, workers contributed their wages, and even street vendors gave what they could. It's as if every penny donated was a brick in building this monument to freedom. But not everything was smooth sailing in the statue's history. Did you know it almost wasn't built due to funding problems? The arm holding the torch stood in Madison Square Park in New York for years, in an attempt to raise funds. Imagine walking through a park and seeing a giant copper arm rising among the trees. It must have been a surreal sight for New Yorkers of that time. Now, let's talk about one aspect of the statue that many don't know: its resilience. Over the years, the Statue of Liberty has faced storms, lightning strikes, and even acts of sabotage. During World War I, an explosion on nearby Black Tom Island damaged parts of the statue. But just like the spirit of freedom it represents, the statue stood firm, a symbol of resistance and perseverance. And speaking of resistance, have you ever wondered how the statue withstands the strong winds of New York Harbor? The secret lies in its flexible construction. A full steel framework allows the statue to sway slightly with the wind. On stormy days, the torch can move up to 5 inches 13 centimeters. It's as if Liberty herself is dancing with the elements. But the Statue of Liberty's secrets aren't limited to its physical structure. There are also mysteries and legends that have circulated for decades. One of the most intriguing is the theory that a time capsule is hidden inside the statue. Supposedly, Bartholdi left a secret message or significant objects within the structure. Will we ever discover the truth behind this rumor? Another fascinating curiosity is the hidden symbolism in the statue. Have you noticed the 7 rays of the crown? Some interpret this as a reference to the 7 seas and continents, symbolizing the global reach of freedom. Others see a connection to the 7 virtues or the 7 days of creation. It's as if the statue is an open book, full of meanings waiting to be deciphered. Now, let's talk about an aspect of the statue that often goes unnoticed: its impact on popular culture. The Statue of Liberty has appeared in countless films, from science fiction classics to romantic comedies. It has been destroyed, rebuilt, and even brought to life on the big screen. Each appearance reinforces its status as an icon not just of America, but of the world. But perhaps the most touching aspect of the Statue of Liberty is its meaning to the millions of immigrants who arrived in America. Imagine yourself on the deck of a crowded ship after weeks of turbulent travel. The Manhattan skyline appears, and suddenly, there she is, Lady Liberty, with open arms, as if welcoming you to a new home. For many, this sight represented the end of a journey and the beginning of a new life. The stories of these immigrants are as diverse as they are moving. There are accounts of people who wept at the sight of the statue for the first time, children who believed she was a real person, and families who kept the entry tickets to Ellis Island, where many immigrants were processed, for generations. And speaking of Ellis Island, did you know that it and the Statue of Liberty share an intertwined history? Although they are separate islands, they together form the Statue of Liberty National Monument and Ellis Island. It's as if they are 2 sides of the same coin, one representing the promise of freedom, and the other, the reality of the immigration process. But the Statue of Liberty is not just a monument to the past. It continues to inspire and provoke reflection in the present. In times of heated debates about immigration and freedom, the statue remains a silent reminder of the ideals upon which the nation was founded. Have you ever wondered what the Statue of Liberty would say if it could speak? What stories would she tell about the millions of people who passed through her shadow? What advice would she give to future generations? As our virtual tour comes to an end, reflect on the enduring power of this monument. The Statue of Liberty is not just a structure of copper and steel. She is a living symbol of hope, a beacon of freedom that continues to shine through the ages. Next time you see an image of the Statue of Liberty, remember, there is much more to her than meets the eye. Every detail, every mark of time, every visitor who passes through her doors adds a new layer to her rich and fascinating story. And so, our journey through the hidden mysteries of the Statue of Liberty comes to a close. But the magic of this monument remains, just waiting for you to explore it even more deeply. So, Would you dare to see beyond the copper and explore the true story behind the torch?